Knicks family, what's popping with you? 2 in a row. After a 5-game losing streak, the Knicks come back to win their last 2 games, 2 of the last 3, as they head out on a West Coast trip. This was a scrappy one today, ladies and gentlemen. Super scrappy game. The ball couldn't go in the hole for neither team. Orlando Magic, they like to foul on every single possession. It's hard to play against a team like that. I hate playing against teams that foul on every possession, and that's exactly what the Orlando Magic did. Threw off our game. But we pulled it out down the stretch, and it was a good team effort. I'm going to say it. The Knicks, here comes Cornerstone. Cornerstone want to get his 48 seconds in. But the Knicks, they won the 50-50 balls today. Now, in the fourth quarter, it wasn't always going the Knicks' way, but they won the 50-50 balls, that's exactly what you need to do to win a game like this. You got to win the 50-50 game. You don't win the 50-50 game in a game like this, you can forget about it. It's over with. The Knicks won the 50-50 game today. Right? They had a bunch of scrappy guys out there. Reggie Bullock had 13 points. 3 rebounds. Julius Randle, he had an off night. He shot 26% from the field. Shot 33% from 3. That's not too bad. He was 9 for 13 from the free throw line. He ended up with 21 points and 17 rebounds, though. He was scraping on the boards while he wasn't hitting his shot. RJ kind of carried us because Julius Randle couldn't score, so RJ, took the load. He did the scoring. He had 22 points. RJ had 10 rebounds. He had 4 assists. He was 9 for 19 from the field, shooting 47.4%. He was 4 for 4 from the free throw line. RJ carried us a lot of the game, until down the stretch when Julius Randle hit that big shot and then made a couple of free throws. But RJ really did carry us. Alfred Payton played well. He had 12 points, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. Quickly, he played well for a stint there in the first half. Got yanked early in the second half. Quickly had 11 points and 2 assists. Obi Toppin only played 8 minutes tonight. Kevin Knox only played 9 minutes tonight. So for the most part, you're talking about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys that really got playing time in this game. But this game wasn't for the faint of heart. You got to be tough to play in this game. Because it was that kind of a game. It was that kind of a game. But the Knicks went ahead. They pulled it out, ladies and gentlemen. They shot 35.6% from the field. That's what the Knicks shot. They shot 18.5% from 3. A lot of rebounds in this one. The Knicks had 68 rebounds. 68 rebounds. That's a lot of rebounds. A lot of rebounds. 68 rebounds. Only 15 assists. And maybe for the first time this season, they had single-digit turnovers. They only had 6 turnovers today. Tough game. But the Knicks pulled it out, man. I don't mind seeing them pull out a game like this. It was, one of those games that had you pulling your hair out. You know what I'm saying? But they pulled it out. Good game. Stephanie, what do you think about this one?
Well, first, shout out to you, Sam, the panel, the chat, Martin Luther King, and all the civil rights, people involved in the civil rights movement, both black and white, who made my life possible today. Shout out to Tibbs, who turned 63 yesterday and 64 today. This was
no doubt.
this was a tough one. But down the stretch, unlike the Cleveland game, we made the plays we needed them to make down the stretch, and we was able to pull it out. RJ, I think this is like the 4th game in a row where he's playing. He's playing well. Like I said, I never had any issues with him. I was never concerned. I knew it was just a matter of time. But we gotta stick to moving the ball and moving the bodies. We're not a one-on-one team. We're not good that way. We have to move. And in the first half, you could see how stagnant we were. So hopefully we'll get that worked out, keep our defense strong, because the rotations were pretty good, actually. and we'll be all right on the trip coming up.
Yeah, we were. Andy?
Yeah, what's up? What's up? I predicted a loss. I'm sorry for that. I'm happy we won, though.
You was close, though.
I'm happy we won. Like Steph said, this game was really good from a couple of standpoints. Maybe not as, for casual fans, because it looks like 90s basketball. Mm-hmm. Not that much fun, not that much, high percentage shots and stuff falling. But, a win is a win, and I'm going to take every win possible, probably. So,
right.
Yeah, no doubt. Divine?
Yeah, like you said, big up to the chat, big up to everybody on all the streams listening to NBK. Like I said, I figured Albert Payton was going to have a good game. He had a revenge game. Big up to RJ Barrett, 4 games in a row, around 20 points, 7 rebounds a game. He's finally getting his groove back. Like Steph said, I was never concerned about that. My one concern is that young unit cannot hold a lead because they're too young. Them 5 dudes, they give up a lead they was up 11 because they don't have that experience. Bang, them cats got right back in the game. That's why I always thought that you got to mix experience with youth and maybe put one younger guy in the starting lineup, take one experienced guy, put them on the bench to help them, because that's going to happen frequently. Every time we get a lead, you put they might could score the ball, run up and down, but when it comes to pressure and defense, they all young. They couldn't handle it. That's about the second or third time I see that this season where they got that lead, but the young boy just not ready for that type of pressure, and we gave the lead away. But other than that, big up to Mitchell Robinson as well, man. Keep fighting, my man, because you're hanging in there and doing your thing too. But it was a good win, man. Tough win, gritty. That defense, last 2 games is ridiculous. I mean, big up to Tibbs defense, because yesterday in Boston, the day-to-day, they shutting cats down. That's what I like to see. So big up to the Knicks tonight.
Yeah. Today's game is definitely going to help their defensive statistics, because Orlando, they shot just as putrid as the New York Knicks, and even worse. They shot 33.7% from the field, 31.6% from 3. Neither team could buy a bucket, man. It was it was rough. Tony?
Yeah, I like these kind of wins. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to the panel. Yo, Black is time. I like these kind of wins. These are character wins. Nobody really had it going. You had to really fight for it. There's 2 things that I was talking with Ebro. Shout out to Ebro. And I had mentioned how Ross typically kills us. I specifically say he'll be 1 for 8, and then next year, he'll be like 3 for 4 in the second half, and that's exactly what he did. Killed us in the second half. And Divine made a great point that I was talking with Eru about with Quickly specifically, but the young guys in general, they're not used to the pressure yet. You know what I mean? If he's playing well in the fourth quarter, we're usually up and everything's going well, but he hasn't dealt with us fighting in the fourth quarter or down. If we're down, he might be in. But when we're like losing the lead or something like that, he hasn't dealt with that. He's going to get pulled for the experienced guy. And Peyton came back in and took control of the game.
Yeah, it's that tough, those tough type of games, man, that, some of those rookies and young guys are going to have trouble with sometimes, at least on our team, not on every team in the NBA, but on our team. Those tough games where you just, you got to have a strong grip on the basketball. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to handle that defensive pressure. You got to be just strong, and some of our young guys aren't that yet. Josh?
Sloppy, ugly game, but I'm glad we came out with the win. I think these are the type of games that show growth in the team, growth in the organization, being able to win these types of games. And I think that's going to do well for the team in the long run, being able to pull out games like this. Big ups to RJ Barrett. He finally came alive to carry the team when Julius Randle is not, actually shooting the ball that well. So I got to give him credit, and hopefully he can continue to do this in his growth, and he can continue to, elevate into that second best player on this team, because I still don't think he's there yet. But I give him his credit for today, for carrying the team, putting the team on his back to get us his victory. And just one negative thing that I want to say, Austin Rivers, what happened, bro? I mean, can't find him on the court anymore. It's like he kind of just went missing. So we got to try to get his shot back because now he's playing basically like, a nobody pretty much. So we got to find a way to get Austin Rivers some easier looks. But that's it. Good win.
Yeah, no doubt. Mark?
We had a good first half. I like the pace, the rhythm that we was playing with. Second half, Orlando mucked it up. And as Knicks defense was, we muck up games also. So it was two teams that mucked it up in the second half. I thought what they did with Vucevic, they did well taking them out of the paint, because I believe if the first quick 9 shots from him, I thought we was gonna lose that game, but Tibbs changed the defense onto him, and that's why we was up in the first half. But the second half, man, I just like how we win with defense, and I like how they gave RJ the ball at the end of the game on the last possessions, even though he missed 2. But it's just about him learning and trying to create for others. That's what he was doing, and he made the most important play of the game too. And he mentioned that.
Yeah, I mean, listen, RJ was, RJ carried the team when we needed him to carry the team. We needed that. 4 games over 20 points. We needed that, man.
4 games over 20 points, average of nearly 26, 3, and over 50% of shooting. Yeah, I told you, don't worry about it. He'll be good.
Cornerstone.
Hey, Mr. Sim, I'm gonna get on you.
You say you're gonna get on me?
Yeah, because the retweet I did for you when Jay Ellis said to leave quickly in for all 48 minutes.
I saw that.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
Somebody else agreed with me. So no. Really good game.
Yeah, well, guess what? Quickly was not ready to play all 48 minutes tonight.
No, not at all.
He was not handling that tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it was. Oh, salute to the chats and salute to all my brothers and sisters on the panel and everything. Usually when you play a Steve Clifford team, whenever we play a Steve Clifford team, their teams are always tough. Even when he was with Charlotte and now Orlando, it's always going to come down to the wire. I don't think we've ever played a Steve Clifford team where we beat them throughout the whole game. Well, blowing them out pretty much. So you knew what was pretty much going to happen. Starting 5 was really good, and the things every time I bust on Peyton, he always does stuff like this. That it's like, where is this ability, all the time and everything? Because the dunk that he did, that was emphatic. So I was, where is this, all the time? This is what, it shouldn't be. It shouldn't come out like.
I mean, honestly, to be honest with you, he basically played the same game that he normally plays, though. I mean, but he shot a little bit better. He usually shoots 44% from the field. He shot 54%. He was 6'4", 11. I mean, we've seen him go down the lane and dunking on people before. This is what he played the same game he normally plays.
Yeah, we have.
It was a little better today, though.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm getting at, Steph. That's exactly what I'm getting at. But overall, the rookies had a little had a few problems in the second half. I'm telling you right now, that floater by Quickly is going to be his trademark, and it's going to be deadly for us. So get used to it, because that's going to be really, good for him. I think they got rattled in the second half because, again, that Steve Clifford teams always ramp it up defensively, and I think they were just rattled a little bit. Little upset with Knox because, his shots weren't going down, so that was a little, turn off for me. I can understand like the first or second shot, but it seemed like all his shots weren't hitting from 3 points.
Nobody's shots were going down today.
Yeah, nobody was hitting for real.
Usually Knox is, he's hitting like 2 or 3 of them, and today he just didn't hit me. So I guess that's what I was getting at. But overall, I'm glad that we won. Go out to the West Coast, play the Warriors, then the Kings and the Blazers. It'll be interesting to see. I know we'll get into the Warriors thing, but it's going to be interesting to see Mitchell go up against their number 1 draft pick. So overall, it was pretty good.
it was pretty good. As far as Peyton, I think the one thing that I see different that he's doing is not getting stuck in the paint with trees around him. Right? I talked about that the other day. How he'll get into the paint and then he'll pick up his dribble, and next thing you know, he's got 3 people around him, and then he's turning the ball over. He's not doing that. He hasn't done that the past couple of games. He's touching the paint, and if nothing's there, if the shot's not there, then he's getting it back out. And then you saw today, and even last night or yesterday versus Boston, he'll keep his dribble and go along the baseline and come around to the other side of the paint. So someone's been talking to him about not getting stuck in that paint, which is, helping him and is going to help the team out as well. Prince? Got yourself muted, man. Oh! I gotta unmute him. I gotta unmute him. Let me go ahead and unmute him. So while I'm unmuting him, we might as well take a look at what Orlando did in the box scores, because obviously it wasn't pretty for them either. Right? When you look at Orlando, and I got you, Prince, I'm sending you a request right now. James Ennis, listen, like Mark's saying, they muck it up, and they foul like crazy. And when you play teams like that, you know what I'm saying? When you play teams like that, it'll send you off of, it'll just take you out of your game. You know what I'm saying?
Rhythm,
everything about it will take you out of the game, because you can't get any rhythm. You're getting bumped every place that you go. And it makes it tough. And that's what Orlando did with the Knicks tonight. James Ennis, he had 5 points, 4 personal fouls, 3 assists. Aaron Gordon had 18 points, 17 rebounds. He had 2 personal fouls. Nikola Vucevic, he had 24 points. He had 3 fouls. Cole Anthony had 6 points, 3 fouls, 5 rebounds. Vucevic also had 14 rebounds. Dwayne Bacon, 2 points, 5 fouls, and I'm naming out their fouls for a reason, because they were fouling. Every time somebody got in the lane, they were smacking their arms, using their bodies, to bang them.
Burks won us that game too.
Every chance that they got, they were fouling. You know what I'm saying? Terrence Ross, he tried to do us in. He had 19 points, 3 assists, couple of 3 rebounds. He also had 3 fouls. Birch, he had 5 points. He played Randall tough at times.
Yeah, but
Ken Birch, he played.
Hold up. The game.
Birch played Randall pretty tough sometimes. It made it tough for Randall to score, because he was bumping him and hitting him and bumping him. All together, the Orlando Magic had 24 personal fouls. The Knicks had 16 by comparison. Right? Because that's what they do. That's how they got to play right now. You know what I mean? They got to try to foul you. Take you out of your game. Tough game for the Knicks. But they pulled it out. So go ahead, Prince.
Shout out to Chat, you know what I'm saying? Happy MLK Day, you know what I'm saying? He did so much for us, you know what I'm saying? We'd be crazy not to respect him. Definitely a great win for us today. We had to stop the bleeding over these last 5 games. We bounced back last night, bounced back tonight. This is a great way to go on this West Coast swing.
Exactly.
To start at 2-0. So again, like a lot of us didn't have this faith, because again, we was doing bad. But now, you know what I'm saying, we stopped the bleeding, and you know what I'm saying, there was brighter days, ahead of us. Got to give much respect to RJ. Cornerstone, I'm sorry that Knox can't play 48 minutes for you. So please don't start, bashing the kid, because he went 0 for 3 today.
I am not. I'm far from bashing the kid.
He need more minutes, though.
Never. He does. Yeah, most definitely. He had just a bad game today. That's all. I love the kid. I'm not like one of these,
I don't want to get into that. I know we're going to get into that later. I'm going to take the win. I'm not going to start bashing Tibbs for not letting Knox get his minutes, but you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. We got this win. That's what matters. Who knows what's going on with our team? Thibodeau does. So again, I'm going to trust him and just trust the process. Definitely looking forward to this game that we got coming up in a couple days.
I don't know what's going. Oh, what? Whoa! I don't know where that came from. Go ahead, Prince. I don't know what just happened, but go ahead, man. Somebody got somebody's hungry. I don't know who it is or what's going on, but oh, wait a minute, hold up. Okay, I think I found it out. It was a caller. We had a caller on the line, and I don't know what they must have been real hungry.
Bathroom.
They must have been starving. I don't know what happened there. Go ahead, Prince. My bad, man. I muted you because I was trying to check and see if it was one of us. Go ahead, man.
No, man. Definitely. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I seen a lot of good things today. It was an ugly game, but like I said, we know this Knicks team. We're not a pretty team. I mean, let's be honest, y'all. We are going to be a brown paper bag team, and I'm cool with that. Because, again, I think it's going to be a lot of those games that we need that mentality in. I think that pretty boy mentality is kind of what got us into the situation that we in today. Not being able to fight through adversity, not, being too cute to dive on the ball, too cute to give up or sacrifice a part of your game for your brothers. So, again, I'm loving what Tom Thibodeau is teaching these guys. As we see, Julius didn't play too well today. And, again, like Julius said, an early back-to-back, a lot of these guys, their legs probably wasn't in it. And that's what I kind of equated Tom Thibodeau pulling Knox and Obi for, is because, again, he probably seen, all right, them guys ain't really on tonight. We really don't need them tonight. And I think keeping them out there is only going to hurt them and hurt the team. So, again, I think he went with the vets. Vets pulled it out for us. Good win. Bullock played good minutes. Yeah. So, again, this was a win that, as we all see and we know, we need it. And, again, I really think this is pushing us to the trajectory that a lot of us seen us heading to. Nothing crazy. But, again, we're going to have these ups and downs. But we look forward to a lot more ups than the downs. So, yeah. Hey, great win tonight, y'all.
Yeah, no doubt. And big shout out to a couple of people, man. First of all, I want to shout out to Lloyd Banks joining us in the chat today. Big shout out to Lloyd Banks. He got some new music out, so you guys need to go check that out. Go to his Instagram page, go to his Twitter page, and go check it out. You know what I'm saying? Julito McCullum, big shout out to you. You know what I'm saying, for joining us in the chat. Let me get to a phone call. Hopefully this time we got it nice and clear. Caller, you live. What's popping? Yeah, I guess that ain't working out too good. I don't know what's going on there, man. I don't know what's going on there. Anyway, I want to ask about this, well, not even ask, but just comment about the second unit a little bit. Because I want people to just, we always holler about, when the second unit is in, we got to keep them in, right? Because, people seem to think that they always extend the lead, but it's just not true. Sometimes they extend the lead, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the first unit doesn't take the lead and the second unit does. It's all about, when you're playing the other team, which matchups are going to work. Right. You know what I'm saying? Tonight, the second unit got in, and it just didn't work for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying? It just wasn't hitting maybe Orlando. Now, Orlando, because they're short, and they come off the bench with one of their best players, right? They come off the bench with one of their best scorers. You know what I'm saying? In Terrence Ross. So now when you come off the bench, you still got a couple of starters on the floor, and they basically played their best lineups throughout the game, which made it tough for our second unit, I thought. You know what I mean? So that's when in that third quarter, or actually the top of the fourth quarter, because the second unit in the second half, they didn't get in until the fourth quarter. Right? The first unit played all the way down to the end of the third quarter. The second unit got in the fourth quarter, and Orlando was playing really tough, and it was a struggle for those young guys. You know what I mean? I do like that we seen Obi and quickly hit that alley-oop. I'm looking for more of that, a lot more of that. But it was a struggle for them, and I'm hoping that they'll be able to bounce back against Golden State. I'm pretty sure that they will. But just a gutsy win. What do you think Tom Thibodeau, though, was saying to the guys in the locker room? Because, Tom Thibodeau was always, you know, he's always ranting and raving. You know, when he said last night on his post-game show, he's like, you know, I'm not happy unless I'm miserable. You know what I'm saying? Andy, what do you think he's talking to the guys about? Is he saying to them, way to pull this out? Or is it more like you gave up a 14-point lead?
I think it's the second one, bro. I think he's getting on him no matter win or not win. He might be happy with this kind of win if it would be like the last game before we get home from that West Coast trip. It might go smoother on him because teams don't like to play those last game, you know, on a long, you know, West Coast trip. So I would guess that, you know, he might go softer on him if they pull out a win like this on the third road game and just wait for the fourth road game and come back home. But I think still he might be yapping at them, you know, at this moment and like pulling like 2-3 guys to take a shoot around after the, you know, they wrap up the court and MSG.
Yeah. What do you think, Devon?
I agree with Andy. And you know, Tibbs is a teacher type of person anyway. He teaches. No matter if you win or lose, he teaches something. You know what I mean? So he probably, you know, take the win. I don't think he's nowhere near satisfied because I mean we was horrible from the free throw line. You know, and you know, some of the younger guys, they just didn't have that energy to compete with that experience. Is the best way to fight adversity, and they didn't have that. They don't have that experience yet. But I think he would. You know, when you see him coach on the sidelines, if you even don't shoot the ball when you're supposed to, tip to be like, what, you know, what you doing? You know what I mean? He's just that dude, man. He wants you to he's the coach. He's the real he's the life coach, and he like the coach. And I think he'll take the win because the win is the win, but he's definitely not happy with it though.
Yeah, no doubt. Tony? Oh, let me get you unmuted there, Tony. Give me 1 second. There you go.
Yeah, I think it was just a little sarcasm, you know, saying, you know, y'all didn't make it easy. You know, it's always a learning because you gotta think like you guys said. He if we up 20 and there's a bad play, he calling a timeout.
Right.
So I don't think it was like out of anger. I think it was more of, you know, just who he is as a coach. But real quick, I just wanted to highlight and give my apology to Bullock because since he's come back from the injury, he's changed the dynamic of the team as well.
Yeah,
and he's actually started hitting some shots in the past couple games. So. Yeah,
I mean, you know, I noticed it after the first because I was one of the people like, yo, Bullock, you know, irks me, but Mark, you're shaking your head, but you can't deny it, man. He changes the way this defense looks.
Yeah,
it's no doubt about it. He changes the way the defense looks out there because without him to muck it up, you know, he plays with energy. And you can see even on the offensive side, when he gets the ball, he's playing fast, he's moving fast. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it makes the other guys have to move fast. But, you know, his impact on the team is noticeable when he's not there.
I agree with you on the defensive end. It's just when we need him to make shots, and it's like,
right,
oh,
we do.
It just reminds me of Wayne Ellington. It's like, what? I need you to shoot the ball and make the basket. I mean, we need to win games. So if you're open and you missing shots, you're like, come on now, bro.
I mean, I get that. I get that.
Yeah.
I get that. I understand that. But you know, yeah, you know, we need him to make shots, and he's not an efficient shooter. But clearly, Thibodeau will play guys, you know, like he always says, you can play well. You can shoot the ball not well, but still play well, still play good.
I said that a show ago. I said he sets the tone on the perimeter defensively. I never had a problem with defensively. I was one. I said keep Bullock and get rid of Wayne Ellington. But when we play in the game, he has open shots. It's like, yeah, bro. I mean, come on, can you make a shot? At times, it's not my action to do the big threes.
No, I mean, I get that. I get that. We got to make shots, but he's definitely changed, you know, the way things look defensively. Because the games that he was out, we looked horrible defensively, especially on that perimeter.
And too, Sim, I want to say something about the rotations, because when you talked about the second unit being bad in the second half, they didn't get onto the court till the fourth quarter. So if you're used to coming in at the 6-minute mark in the third quarter to see what Orlando's defense was given to us at the time when they adjusted, and then you just throw them guys out in the fourth quarter, of course they're gonna have a problem. They're gonna have a problem with that.
Yeah, but
it
happened in the first half too, though. The Knicks were up like 11 points when the second unit came in. They shaved the points down to 3. They shaved it to 3, and they came in at that normal time. So I think that's why Tom Thibodeau maybe held off a little bit longer, because he felt like, he felt like Orlando's defense was, maybe had them, was tough on those young guys. I mean, it's all right. You know what I mean? It's gonna happen like that sometimes.
Like I said,
but like Devon said, we need to mix it up.
With this offense, it's not being fine due to the plays that we have. Like, they're not constantly doing the things that Tib wants them to do, so they're getting whatever they can get at times. So it's going to look like this for a number of games. It's really going to look like this, and we have to muck it up defensively. As long as we're playing good defense, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
Yeah, me too. Shout out to everybody that's on Sportscaster, Facebook, Twitch. Shout out to you guys. Josh, I'm gonna come to Josh. I'm gonna come to Josh, Devon, Stephanie, and then Andy. It seems like Burks could be back for the next game in Golden State. Right now, the first game back, he may not get out there on the floor and play a lot of minutes. Eventually, they're gonna try to work him in there. Where does he fit now? I mean, obviously you got to have him out there, but who's he playing over now? I'm gonna start with. Go ahead, Josh.
So along with about the second unit, I'm just gonna come out and flat out say it. Tibbs knows what he's doing. Okay, offensively and defensively, the Knicks have been getting good looks the entire season. It's not like the Knicks have been doing anything different to get R.J. Barrett to make these shots or Bullock to make these shots. The Knicks are still running the same things that they ran in the beginning of the season. Now, the only difference is guys are knocking down shots. Right. Okay? So us doing all these wholesale changes in the lineup and all of that, it really doesn't really need to happen, because the Knicks are still getting the looks that they need to get. Okay? Now, if it's one thing that we can change, maybe we could push the ball up a little bit more, maybe have some more, fast break opportunities. But outside of that, the Knicks are tonight and in the last game, or tonight, just now and yesterday's game, they did the same thing they did the last 4 prior to that when we had the 4-game losing streak, okay? So we really don't need to do anything too crazy. As far as the second unit is concerned, listen, the starters closed the game out. The starters, for this particular matchup against Orlando, the starters were out there when the game was on the line, and the starters were able to seal this win for us, not the young guys. Okay, so all that stuff is going to vary from game to game, depending on the matchups. Right. But we really shouldn't do too much crazy things, as far as moving people around, because at the end of the day, the Knicks are still getting open shots, and R.J. Barrett all of a sudden is now knocking down open shots. Okay, so that's the only thing that's different. That's all I got to say about that.
All right. What about Burks?
Oh, and as far as Burks is concerned, my bad. I was going back 2 points ago. As far as Burks is concerned, I think he takes some of Rivers' minutes away. Rivers has been basically like invisible out there on the court, and I think for that second unit, Burks gives them another shooter to put along with Quickly, Knox, and Obi Toppin. So I think Burks comes in and takes a lot of the minutes away from both Rivers and Bullock, both of those guys, but definitely in that second unit.
Okay. All right. Devon, what about you, man?
I mean, you know what? When it comes to the second unit, I think we are missing one thing. We always talk about they all can score. 4 of our 5 guys in that second unit is not defense ball players, period. Quickly, Knox, Obi, whoever, and Austin Rivers, they are not defense ball players. You can't win the game only on offense. You can't stop nobody, and that's what happened tonight. Then they was up 11. All them young guys was in there. They're not defense ball players. If you want to put Bullock in that second unit, he's a defense ball player. He can help them. And if you put one of them in a starting lineup, an offensive guy, he can help our starting lineup because he's an offense player. Knicks got a bunch of defense players in the starting unit, none but Noel in the back unit. And we would get killed all the time because none of them cats play defense. Knox, they getting better. but they're not defense ball players. That's all I'm saying about Ford, switching it up. Put some experience with some youth. So somebody who could do things different to help the team out. Because I don't think you're going to – if we was going to the playoffs and you got them 5 young guys in there, they would get hammered because they don't play defense. And defense win championships. You got to mix that up. Put Bullock in the second unit because he's a defense ball player. He could cover Knox. He could cover quickly. And you got Noel back there to help him on the defense. Noel can't be the only guy in the back on our second unit that can play defense. And that's what that's only my concern is that we don't have no defense in the second unit. And that's why we had that lead today with all the young guys in there. That's why Tish snatched them out. Oh, God, you got an 11-point lead. Now we down to 3 or 4 or 5 because they didn't play no defense. They not built like that right now. So right now, because they so young, we got to mix our team up because them cats is real young. They're not ready for all this. So if you put some experience back there with them, it'll ease their mind a little bit like they ain't got the pressure on them because pressure busts pipes. And them young cats all got pressure on them because they're young. And they're in New York City on top of that. So I just think that we might have to mix that up a little bit just to get some stability in both of them lineups, the second unit and the first unit, basically.
So can I have a question, a rhetorical question? So when you say put a veteran in that second unit, I mean, I know RJ Barrett is not a veteran, but he basically plays starters minutes. Would you consider moving RJ Barrett to the second unit to try to give him some more stability?
I wouldn't move him in there from a veteran standpoint because he just came in the league last year. He's not even ready for it.
Okay.
But now that's why I said somebody like Reggie Bullock and Alpha Payton, because they've been in the league a long time. So when they get in them tight situations, they know what to do. Them other cats might start folding because they never had that pressure before. So they might start folding. But I think Alpha Payton and Reggie Bullock been around a long time. They done played on some good. They know how to play the NBA ball game. I'm saying quickly, Obi them. They don't know how to play NBA ball yet. This is their first year. And RJ Barrett, he just starting to finally get there. But they young, man, and they don't know the pressures of the NBA, man. That's why I think we got to mix it up. In my opinion, that's all. It's just opinion.
Okay. All right, and that's what Burks. I think Burks will help add to that. You know what I mean? A veteran presence. In that younger unit. Go ahead, Andy.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out, before this Boston game when we were on that losing streak, I said that Thibs is probably going to make some adjustments, and I don't know if you noticed, but we are now playing with 10 people. It's not maybe that much minutes, but we were playing with 8, and the 9th guy had like a minute or 2 on the court. Mm-hmm. Now, these last 2 Ws we were playing 10 guys, and I think it's going to be, the adjustment was made because first thing, we had a back-to-back, and then we got a road trip. So I think Thibs noticed that these guys are really gassed. And I said this might be the blessing in disguise that Thibs will have to, expand the rotation, and the guys are going to play a little bit better, and that's probably what happened. So I'm just happy, that he did it because more guys going to have the opportunity to shine. And like you guys said, Rivers, had like 2 quiet games, but we had the W. So probably when Burks comes back, he's going to take a little bit of Rivers minutes. But the first guard that's going to be slacking. It's going to be, next man up. It's going to be Rivers just waiting in the blocks for it. So,
right.
Yeah.
Just wanted to add this, in the conversation.
Yeah. Stephanie, same thing. You think it's going to be Rivers?
My take on it is that Burks is going to be the first guard off the bench, and the minutes the players whose minutes is going to be reduced is going to change from game to game, depending on who's playing and who's not playing well. But Burks is going to be the first guard off the bench. He's going to get his minutes, and it's just going to fall in line after that, depending on who's playing well that game.
Yeah. RJ, he's finally shooting well, and from what I can see, what I think he's doing better right now is he's finding spots. He's not just shooting it from any place. He's actually finding spots on the floor, areas where he shoots well. And I think he's utilizing the pull-up a lot more over these last 2 games than he has been, right? In the past, it was like, I'm trying to go to the basket, go to the basket, go to the basket. Now he's pulling it up. And I think he's having some success pulling it up as well. You know what I mean? So I like what I'm seeing from him. This is when we talk about coaching, man, this is coaching. That's good coaching. People just tell them, hey, you got to pull up. You utilize your pull up. When you utilize that pull up, it pulls people out so that you have to go. Then you can go to the basket. What do you think about that, Steph?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I'm not seeing much difference in his shot. I mean, I guess he is getting a little more mid-range shots, but the big key is that he's hitting them. And I think, what Tibbs and them are doing for him is that they're giving him a lot of confidence in that they're not stressing out if he's having a bad shooting game. They're very consistent with him in terms of what they want him to do. They are getting him different looks around the basket. I saw him today, like dribbling, trying to take somebody off the dribble. Like, that's not his game. That's not his game. But yeah, I think they are getting him some more mid-range shots, but the difference is that he's hitting them.
Yeah. Let me come down to Tony, then I'm gonna come to Prince and then Mark. What do you think, man? Is there anything else different that you see that RJ's doing?
Well, I mentioned it a couple streams ago that should be and is his bread and butter. That mid range, and he's taking care of it. His 3-point percentage is not really improving. He's still shooting the open three, which he's gonna have to do, make them when you make them. But the focus, I think, has been the mid range, and exactly what you said. He's been finding spots on the floor. That's so important as far as like development. It becomes a go-to move. And that's one of the things that you need hopefully as a young players, and then you could add one every year, but there's some veterans that to this day don't have a go-to move.
Right.
And that's not good. So, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Prince, coming to you, man. RJ's been playing well. Is there anything different that you've seen, or is he just knocking down his shots, or get into his spots? What is it that you see?
I definitely like Queen Steph had hit it on. You can definitely see that the confidence in the coaching staff means everything. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I hate to be that dude, but I wish Knox had that same, type of, care when, his first 2 years. But again, I do love what RJ, what I'm seeing from him. He is shooting those threes still, but they're open, much like, Sim, you were iterated earlier in the season. Is that it's not like RJ is just jacking up shots. He wasn't making them, but again, he's getting good looks. Tom's giving him good looks. So again, I don't think we seeing much change from RJ. His release and the way he's letting the ball go doesn't seem like it's changed any. It's just the shots are falling for him now. Still think he definitely has to lock himself in the gym over the offseason and work on that touch. But again, if he, like you said, Sim, if he limits his game to his success areas, and that's usually, right in front of the basket, layups, and like you said, that pull-up. If he can truly hone that pull-up in, that would, diversify his game so much more to help him get to the basket so much more easier. Because so many more people will be worried about him stopping on a dime and pulling up rather than just barreling to the basket. So definitely seeing RJ shoot more consistent only helps our team. And again, especially when in a big win like this where we needed his contribution. So again, not really seeing nothing really new from RJ, but just exuding confidence.
Yeah. RJ Barrett, over the last 4 games, he's had 22 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 19 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, 20 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and then again 20 points, 5 rebounds, and 3 assists. He shot 47, 45, 58, and 46% respectively from the field. So he's doing a good job honing in what he's doing out there on the floor. Mark, last thing with RJ, just anything that you see that you think he's doing differently or that's happening differently with this team, you know, to allow RJ to score or be more efficient or be confident?
I've been saying about this kid, he's finding his real estate, he's finding ways bread and butter. Tibbs is also putting him in positions where he can come downhill a little more to get more speed when he wants to go to the basket. And again, the kid is just a basketball player. He's gonna go through his in and outs. He's second year player. I mean, that's what happens to these guys. And again, he's finding his way in the league, finding real estate, playing with guys that plays in his spot. So, like I said, the dude is just he's just a basketball player. He's going to find his way. So I'm not too concerned with him. I've never been concerned with him. His attitude don't tell me to be concerned with him. When you have an attitude like that, I'm not concerned with you because you're going to work on your game and you're going to want to be better. And he's been doing a good job. And I like what Tibbs did for him today, even though he missed those 2 shots, but still it's the threat of him getting close to the basket, trying to finish or passing the ball. There was a play where he got off the curl and Mitchell Robinson was diving down and he did a wraparound pass, but Mitch had got blocked. But it's things like that why I love him, because he's not looking to score all the time. He's looking to play within the offense. And that's what I like from him. I'm not looking for the dude to score 30 a game. I'm looking for him to play within the offense and helping others. And that's his game. He's not rushing. He's not pressing. So that's the difference what I see in him. And shout out to Gammo. We see you, boy.
Yeah. Cornerstone. I want to talk to you about Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson, he's fighting. He's injured. He's got I think his knee is hurting. His heel is hurting. He's been hit in the face. Fell on his shoulder. You know what I'm saying? And he's dealing with some tough competition. Right? Every night he's dealing with a big center. Every single night. Talk to me about what you're seeing from Mitchell Robinson, man, because although his numbers aren't like, he's not averaging a double-double and this and that, what he's bringing to the team is valuable. Even in the losses, it was valuable. Just valuable from the way he's battling out there and fighting on every possession. We still want to see him turn around and shoot the ball. I'm not happy with the way his form looks, though. When I look at him at the free throw line, his form don't look good. So, when he needs to work on that. You know what I mean? But he did a good job with Vucevic today, although Vucevic was still 2 for 5. I think the Knicks as a team did a better job dealing with that pick and pop, which is something that's been an issue all season long. You know what I mean? Talk to me, Kev.
Yeah, you're not going to get any complaints out of me out of the way Mitch is playing. He's really battling. He's been bruised. I mean, literally. I mean, there was one where he fell on the floor, and we didn't know what was going to happen. But luckily, he got up and everything. And then Terrence Ross. No, I'm sorry. That was Aaron Gordon that blocked the shot. I would like to see him compose himself a little bit more when he's going up for a shot, when he gets the pass down low, and because as strong as he is, he should be really dunking those shots. But overall, defensively, I got no complaint on him. I will say that when you have a guy like Vucevic or I forget it, or maybe the Joker, or any of these centers that can hit the 3-pointer, I'd like to see him get up there closer, because I don't believe they can take him off the dribble. So I like him to get up a little bit closer and to defend those guys. Other than that, I got no complaints out of Mitchell Robinson at all. He's really bringing it. I think he's locked in. I think it's the guidance of Tibbs really, doing that for him. So I got no complaints out of him.
Okay. Anybody else want to talk about? Let me get the Big Bubba. We ain't heard from this guy in a while.
Oh, hey, Isaiah.
You know what I'm saying? He always claims he's working. You know what I mean? I don't know what he's doing.
Am I literally not at work?
I mean, just because you got a Verizon shirt on don't mean you're working. But go ahead, Big Bubba.
I I understand. Don't work too hard.
Sam, let me tell you something, Sam. I'm more concerned that all you mother effers in this chat that are always home when I'm at work. And everybody's home when I'm at work.
Put it out time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm on strike. You know what I'm saying? I'm on strike.
Yeah, all right, brother. Okay. God bless you. Strike. What's going on, everybody? Happy Martin Luther King Day. Happy Martin Luther King Day. Go look up some real history of Martin Luther King after I had a dream speech, please. It's really informative. Yeah, man, this was a win. I was scared, son, a little bit, because I'm watching on my phone and I'm watching this like, we doing good, we're grinding out, we got them up big. Then the fourth quarter happens. I'm like, I keep refreshing my phone. I'm like, whoa, why is it we're not scoring? They scoring. Next thing I know, it's like 75, 76. I'm like, oh, geez, here we go. But then at the end, we did some great defense at the end. We pulled off a tough win. It's going to be ugly win. People, I see some people complaining, it's like, can't really complain. It's going to be tough losses and tough, ugly wins and all that stuff. So that's just the nature of the game. Mitchell Robinson, man, I'm a little concerned, son, about Mitchell Robinson because he's hurt right now. And I'm just really wary of they keep bringing him out there, and then I don't want it to be like, I just don't want him to get injured when we could have prevented it if we just let him rest a couple of games. And I do understand that we need to win, but it's just like, I'm just concerned about that, son. I'm concerned that and it's like every next game, something else happens. Like he'll get smacked in the face the one game, then it's like a hard call the next game, and it's like those things are gonna keep adding up. He put on a little weight, but he's still a wiry frame, so it's like it's tough right now. And I'm just concerned. That's why I'm hoping. Is there any news with Taj? Is he available?
He's available.
He's available. He's available. They're just not playing him.
Coach,
that concerns me a little bit because I would just like for Mitch to take it a little more easier because we definitely need him in the long run, especially if we want to make a playoff push. Because again, right, everybody has to remember that as long as we were like the top 10, we have a chance. We have a chance to get in the playoffs. So I understand people want to win all the games, but listen, sometimes, man, you gotta lose a couple battles to win the war, man. So I just want Mitch to be good because we're going to need him for that after the All-Star push. We're going to need him. So I'm just a little concerned with that. But again, man, everybody else played good. Quickly played good. Randall played good. RJ Barrett, the 6th man of the year, according to Josh. He played good.
Good one.
But no, it's all right, man. Listen, we got guys in here that think RJ should be on the bench. We got guys that think Quickly should play 48 minutes. I love our crew, man. We got
here you go. Yeah, really.
Look. No. This is Isaiah. Now today he loves our crew.
Oh, cool.
Right? He loves our crew today. He loves the crew.
Sim, stop picking the ball out of there,
you're with Isaiah on this, bro.
Thank you, Mark.
Huh?
Let him rock today, man.
No. I'm letting him rock. I just want to point it out. Like I'll get a million texts like, "Oh, this guy is trash. This guy's burn him. Do this. Wave him." Today, I love our crew, man.
And I'll just man. I'll definitely attest to that.
Someone was saying in the chat that someone else people was talking about RJ in the G League, bro. That's how far people are going, bro.
Yeah, people wild. They wild. Some people are trolling when they say that. Come on, man.
Yo, G League? They say wait,
Josh, if that's your burner account, just say it, bro. That's your burner account.
I personally don't have enough time to make a burner account. But as far as RJ going to the bench, listen, I still stand by that. Okay, I don't care. I don't care if it's you, Guillermo, Mark, who wanted to trade for Aaron Gordon for Julius Randle in the preseason. So let's put that out there.
I still would.
Okay. So
horrible, Mark. Hey, man.
All I want to say is I still think RJ Barrett plays better with the younger guys, and I'm going to stick by that. And he's playing well lately. He's been shooting well, but the Knicks haven't done anything different to get him to be able to make these shots. That's on him. So good on RJ for doing that, and I support him. But I still think he plays better with the guys coming in the second unit. Yeah. So y'all can disagree with me all y'all want, but it is what it is.
Right. I want to get to Mark for a minute. Mark, I got a question for you. We're 15 games into the season, and for the record, that Aaron Gordon, Julius Randle, thumbs down. Anyway, we're 15 games into the season, right? You know, like most people are always like, 20 games into the season, you see where this team is at. Right now, we're 15 games into the season. We're 7-8. We're in the 6th spot in the Eastern Conference, if you want to look at it that way. Are you waiting to that 20th game, or which is going to come up, soon? You waiting to that 20th game, or how do you feel about them right now?
Okay, so where we at right now? Like I said, the 20th game. I'm gonna wait for the 20th game because again, we can lose four in a row from today. You know what I mean? But like I said. Where we at today is way better than we was like last year. I said we look more functional. We look way more functional. We have tasks now. So when they come out to play, they have a task where they know what to do. So again, they look like an NBA functioning team. You see things working from time to time, but due to the players are being young and a mix of players that don't really mesh with other players, the offense ain't going to be very fluent. We don't have a fluent offense because we don't have fluent basketball players. So in that case, like I said, what I like with these few games is the defense. Offense, that's until we get better offensive players, then you see the offense a little more refined. But from the defensive side, which I said why I wanted Tibbs, because the Knicks desperately needed the defense, and that's the first thing you need to do for a team like us, for an organization like us. It starts from defense, and then the offense, and then you get your players. And then, like I said, we're doing good. So 20 games for me still, because we still can lose the next couple of games. Mm-hmm. And, and sometimes after the 20 games, stuff derails. So, like I said, I'm giving credit when credit is due. Tibbs is doing what he's doing. Like I told y'all people, he's very – and like I said, when people complain about the minutes, leave it alone. Let him do what he's doing because – he know when to pull out guys and he know when to put in guys. Sometimes he might overdo it. But, hey, sometimes coaches do the most dumbest things in the world. Just like when Popovich took out Tim Duncan, their best defender, and they put in Boris Diaw, and look what happened to them. So things happen. But coach is doing what he's supposed to do. And what I like about Tibbs, that he gets on you every time on the bench. I don't even watch the game sometimes. I watch him and how he interact when he calls timeout, how he looking at players, and their body language when he's talking to them. That's more important to me because, like I said, Tibbs is the face of New York Knicks. Neither of these players are. That's what I wanted because a lot of these players that come here can't handle being the face of New York. So I'm glad where we at right now. So 20 games, and then I'll give you my verdict on that and see what we could do. But like I said, I would like 10th spot and the lottery pick. I'm still on that because let's not be stupid. We still should be playing for the best talent at the end of the day, but it is what it is.
So you want us to tank then?
I didn't say we wanted to.
By the way,
no. Kev, he's looking for the perfect scenario. He wants the perfect. The perfect scenario. He wants the perfect scenario. The Knicks get into the 10th seed so that they can still be in the lottery.
Yeah,
and then they get into the playoffs on that 10th. That's what he's looking for, that perfect scenario.
Thank you, Sim. Unless you want me to say, yo, I want to tank this. I want to tank. I want to tank. You want me to say that?
Hey, Mark, I'm just going by your Twitter feed, man, because you made that clear. You take it for gay to somebody.
Hey, Sim, by the way, Sim, Gilmore said, could you let him in?
Oh, yeah, give him
I sent him a message. Steph.
Beef. He got beef, Sim.
Yeah, I think, we are back in the National Basketball Association in terms of these first 15 games. I think before that, it was like we was in the National Biddy Ball Association, just handing out minutes to everybody, just based on, not based on talent, based on their draft pick. So now I feel like we're back. We're in the National Basketball Association. We playing the game the way it's supposed to be played, and we're developing. We got a good leadership in terms of the front office. We got a good coach. We're playing good defense. I agree with Mark. Our offense is not as fluid. A lot of that has to do with the players and whether or not they mesh with each other. Hopefully, Sam, the Knicks play so many games, but I would love to have a State of the Knicks video cast, and we could talk about a video chat, so we could talk about the overall direction of the team and what we see. But for right now, with the 15 games, I like what I'm seeing. I think as an organization, we're on the right track. I still think we need another player, and I don't want to get too controversial right now, but I like what Mitchell Robinson is doing. He's definitely developed. He's playing hurt. He's showing some toughness. He's growing. But I think the jury is still out, in terms of, is he going to man that spot for us going forward, not even averaging a double-double. You can see the difference now. When you just come in and play 5-6 minutes at a time, you could be Superman. Block a three, run down, dunk. Now he's playing 30, 35. It's given us a bigger sample size to really assess him. Hopefully he continues to develop and turn into that player. But I still think the jury is out as far as Mitchell Robinson is concerned. I don't know if they have to make that decision this offseason in terms of his contract. If not, okay, good. I would like to see him for another year.
I brought that up with him. I brought that up with him because he don't look to do anything offensively in no way, sorts of form. So you don't want to throw him money. You don't want to ever throw a player like that money because you look at guys like Middleton, $180 million. Come on, man, you got to be careful.
Yeah,
gotta be careful.
Yeah, that's my take.
Did they do something with his contract? Did they extend it?
Left it alone, Kev.
They could give him an extension right now for 4 years. I think $55-60 million, but they're gonna hold off. They're holding off on all these contracts, I think.
Okay, I apologize. I didn't really hear anything. Did they do something or no?
No.
Okay.
No.
All right.
No, that's it.
Okay.
Looking into the rest of this week, we get 2 days off, right? So one day is going to be a travel day, right? And then after the travel day, we got 1 day to practice, and then on Thursday we play Golden State, and we play Golden State Thursday. Sacramento we play on Friday, so we got another back-to-back, and then we go to Portland. Right, I want to start with Golden State. Guillermo, I'm gonna come to you, man. Welcome. What's your outlook right now? Well, first of all, just give us, your outlook on the game itself, and then talk to us about Golden State.
Yeah, real quick. This was a great win by the Knicks. Good perseverance. It was a team that we probably should allow them to get back into the game, but RJ Barrett, he should be going to the bench. He's just been awful these past 3 games. Shot 45% today. Past 3 games, shot 58% the day before, and then 46.7%.
What did he do before that?
No, he looked pretty bad, but then he also had other games where he was the only playmaker outside of Randall. And again tonight, he has as many assists tonight as Elfrid Payton. And just real quick, because nothing supports your so-called bench hypothesis. So if you go to basketballreference.com, when you look at the lineups, the best lineups right now, we're talking about points at 45.8 plus. It'll be Reggie Bullock, Elfrid Payton.
The starters. We already went over this. You're already late to the party.
We went over that last night.
Yeah. See, you're already late to the party. But guess what? How many minutes is RJ Barrett playing with the young guys? Not as much, right?
Can you let me talk? You talked already about your
okay, gotcha. Yeah.
But yeah, so RJ, again, he wanted guys like Knox and those guys to come in. When the weakest point was actually Payton, if you look at Payton's numbers, they've probably been stifling the team overall. But of course, take out RJ Barrett, who now looks like a secondary playmaker, and of course he goes quiet when that happens. But just to the outlook for the Golden State Warriors. The Golden State Warriors shoot a lot of threes. You see Steph Curry in the games I've seen of the Spurs, he's going back to playing, and I think because they need him to, playing like how he did with Mark Jackson, being a lot more on the ball, facilitating. They still have Draymond. But again, without Clay, Steph Curry probably can't play as off ball as he did during those championship years. So again, this team, I think they have the #1 pace in the league, according to NBA rankings, whatever the site is called, but that might be a little bit off. But I think they rank up there in terms of pace. Wiseman, he's only averaging like 21 to 22 minutes a night. But again, he's a problem. Can space the floor out, can shoot a little bit better than expected when we were talking about him during all that stuff in the preseason when you're doing all your scouting. But yeah, I'm not taking this team lightly because again, the Magic, even though they shot 37% from 3 tonight, better than us, they don't shoot well overall from 3. The perimeter defense, even though at times it looked good tonight, I just against a team with pace, where we have problems resetting our defense, that could be an issue. But again, look, if the Knicks can be smart like they did tonight or today in the fourth quarter, regards to defense, closing the passing lanes, being aggressive on the pick and rolls, it's a winnable game. But again, you're talking about Steph Curry, who's a Hall of Fame player, and Draymond Green, who's still a really good facilitator and setter-upper, even that's not a real word, for the rest of the team. I don't take them lightly, but if you get this tough road win, it will speak a lot about this team's overall development.
Yeah, so far we better on the road. Well, I mean, we've only played a few games. We're 4-4 on the road. I think we're 3-4 at home. So, we'll see what we can do on the road. Josh, you want to get in there?
Yeah, like I said, prior to the 6 games, that we were talking about before, I expected the Knicks to go 4-2. And I think Golden State is one of those winnable games. They're definitely not the same team that they were of championship years. Obviously, they don't have Klay Thompson. Really, Steph Curry is probably the only threat on the floor they have on the offensive end. Andrew Wiggins, inconsistent. Kelly Oubre, inconsistent. Draymond Green, he can definitely play make and definitely can pass the ball. But I think if we can slow down Curry and hopefully, hold him under 20 points, because we've seen Curry be under 20 points in a few games that shocked everybody. I think that game is definitely winnable. So, and a big matchup that I want to see is Mitchell Robinson versus Wiseman. That's what I really want to see. That's going to be a good game for Mitchell Robinson, being able to go out there and defend Wiseman, who can shoot from range, you know what I'm saying? And that'd be a good test for Mitch.
Yeah, without a doubt, man. Tony, I'm about to come to you, man. I want to know what you think about this Golden State game.
I think it's winnable. I agree with Josh. I'm looking forward to that big man matchup. I think we could win it. I'm optimistic we could win it. I think we could win it even if Curry goes off. If we contain, I think it's the opposite. I think we got to contain those other guys, and not let them go off. The Greens, the Oubres, those guys. That's I think that's more important right now. Don't let those guys go off, and I think we could pull a win away. Just to backtrack real quick on evaluating the team. For me, I want to definitely give it maybe 5 to 10 more games. Mm-hmm. And I say that because Burks should be back soon, and then give him a couple games to get reacclimated, and then I want to then I could really evaluate this team because I think he's a big missing piece. You know what I mean? 15 to 20 points on any given night, and we sorely been missing that in the wins and the losses. So I want to give it at least another 5 to 10 more games to evaluate.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that, because if he comes back against Golden State, I don't know how much playing time he's going to get. But knowing Tibbs, I mean, he threw, look, when Austin Rivers came back, he threw him right out there. You know what I'm saying? Obi Toppin came back, he gave him 57 seconds, and then he threw him out there. I wouldn't be surprised if he threw Burks out there and let Burks get, just let him go ahead and play. My question with the whole thing, though, is, who's, I guess he probably takes some of Bullock's and Rivers' minutes. But, Burks, before he went out, at least in, preseason, I think he played, 1 game? 2 games? How many games did he play with us early?
I think 2.
Two.
And saying, to touch up on what Andy was saying, with the rotation, we just got these guys back, so that opened up the availability to play 10 players instead of 8. I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to 11, or if one of the younger guys get the shorter leash and not so much Austin Rivers or Bullock. That's it.
Right. Go ahead, Big Bubble.
Hey, so you know what, Sim? I just wanted to say, man, it feels real good to have everybody in here right now, man. It feels like the good old days, man. It really do, Sam. It really do. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. It's like the 2018 vibes, man.
And you the only one at work.
And I'm still.
We think he's at work. We think he's at work. We don't know. I don't know. We think he's at work. He could just be throwing his shirt on, you know.
We know what you do, man. Listen, I don't know why people don't believe me, man, when I meant to go visit this dude. You got dudes in black trucks, Muslim brothers coming up.
It's not about me. This is about you. This is about you.
When you see how quick he is to defer that when I talk about it.
This is about you.
It's not about me.
It's about you. You know what I
mean? Yeah. No, but so I was on Gilmore's podcast and I was talking about the main thing that we got to do on Thursday is that we have to fight over these screens. We gotta.
Definitely against Golden State. Yep.
Golden State is going to screen us to death. And you know what, man? I'm not going to lie to you, son. This is the game where I really wish Frank was playing because at least I know with Frank, I'm guaranteed he's fighting over screens. Guaranteed. I'm not saying these guys are not going to do that because this is not the same team from last year, but I would love to have Frank's length and his ability to fight over screens on the Golden State game because I think it would be really important because they're going to just screen us to death, man. There's going to be a lot of double screens. Curry's going to be all over the floor. I'm going to be really pissed if there's a Kelly Oubre or Andrew Wiggins game. That's going to piss me off more than anything. I mean, Steph Curry is Steph Curry. You know, he's great. He's going to do what he's going to do. But I swear to you, Sim, if there's a Kelly Oubre game or Andrew Wiggins game, I'm going to be pissed off.
Yeah.
Because these guys have just been inconsistent. You know, Kelly Oubre has been really bad, like literally bad. I think his percentage got a little bit better, but I think he was shooting like 13% from three or something like that. Some crazy, absurd number.
Yeah, he made like it was like the 25th of the season.
It's crazy. He said people complain about ours. This Joker was shooting 9% at one point. But
he always plays great against us. Oubre, that's the one I'm fearing.
Jesus, about $1 for every player that plays good against us.
Yeah,
the G League plays great against Knicks.
But he's been doing this since he's been with Washington and with Phoenix last year. He's the guy that really the most.
Yeah, but again, right? So we just gotta watch out for these guys. Curry's gonna do what he's doing. But if we can stop Andrew Wiggins and these guys, you know, gobble up all the rebounds and fight over these screens, I really think we got a good chance. But we got some. I think that's the biggest, to me, emphasis of the game. So Thursday is fight over these screens. Like if we don't go over these screens, man, they're gonna kill us.
Can I add something to that?
Yeah.
Isaiah, I'm going to add something to what you said. Also, it's imperative that we make shots because Golden State, what they like to do is if we miss shot, well, I'm talking about special emphasis for this game because we didn't hit that many shots today and we won. So what I'm saying is against Golden State, it matters more than anything because when they get that rebound, they are going. Steph Curry got that ball and he's already looking up the court and he's you know. So against Golden State, we got to knock our shots down because off misses they can score.
Right. And to be honest with you, Sim, I'm gonna be real with you. 90 points ain't gonna cut it. Not this game.
It ain't gonna cut it.
I really believe this because listen, these last couple of games it's been a grind out, but this is Golden State. This Steph Curry. Steph Curry can still go give you 12 threes. He can give you 12 threes by himself. So it's 91 points is not 90 points ain't gonna cut it. Not this game. So hopefully Alec Burks is back in that. Hopefully he's good enough to play some 20 minutes, hopefully. I hope 20 minutes. That can give us something. And he can just get his rhythm back a little bit because we're going to need all the points this game. We're going to need all of them.
Yeah, they average 111 points per game so far on the season. Andy, I'm going to come to you. Then I'm going to come to Stephanie. Then I'm going to come to Devon.
Yeah, as far as I see the next two games, it's going to be a huge game of contrasts, both of these games, because with Golden State, they play probably the fastest pace in the league. Meanwhile, we play the slowest pace. And with the Sacramento game, the Kings allow over 121 points per game. And we can't score a lick. So those games for me are going to be decided by which kind of game, which kind of team will allow you to play. So if we're going to, play our pace with the Golden State Warriors, I don't think they're going to score 120 on us. But, the question is going to be if we can outscore them. Meanwhile, on the Sacramento game, the question is if the shots are going to be falling, because we're going to have plenty of opportunities to score, just if we are going to be able to, make those shots. And, just out of the question about the, spreaded rotation, the longer rotation, you guys think our game is going to change like we want it to be, a little bit more fast-paced and fast break points, or we're still going to stick to the slow-paced game because we had a short rotation?
I think we're going to continue to remain slow because I think that's based on personnel and Tibbs, that his style. It's both of those, personnel and who Tibbs is as a coach. He likes playing slow.
Yeah, because we saw quickly today, he had those outbursts of speed, and we got like one guy, on the offensive end, and like all our rest of the guys were still in the back. Meanwhile, the whole, Orlando team was on defense. Only a couple of times, but they at least try to make that move and see what's going to happen. So I'm wondering if this is going to be when we, expanded the rotation, if it's going to be more possible, or we're still going to, walk it up.
Well, Andy, I'll tell you this, though. I think personally, we're going to still be slow. Again, I don't want to get into this deep conversation about overpaying. I don't, because it just, people are going to feel how they feel. But when your lead guard is just not pushing the pace, it's gonna bounce on the other players on the team.
For me, Isaiah, I think it's more about Randall and RJ not being fast players than on.
Well, I think RJ would run though. I'll be real with you. I think because you guys remember when he was slow with Duke. Yeah. Well, hold on, because when they were with Duke, they were up and down. They were pushing the pace.
But they're playing against college players. They're not playing against. NBA level competition. You can see RJ's speed be, it looked one way in college and it looks different now. I mean, that makes a big difference.
And RJ was facilitating to Zion more so than anything. That can work with a guy like Obi running the floor, but RJ's not going to be the guy running the floor. He's going to be the guy facilitating or trailing and slashing.
Yeah, because what Andy's talking about, when you see quickly try to get up the floor, who were two guys that were behind them? RJ and Randall, right? Because I mean, they're not built that way. If you're gonna push the ball a little bit more, it's gonna be those younger guys that get the ball up the floor, and it doesn't have to be pushing it by dribbling. It can be pushing it by passing the ball up the floor. I think.
Hey Sam, you don't think RJ? You don't think RJ can keep up with? What were you just saying? You were just saying RJ and Randall.
You gotta rewind. Kev.
What Andy was saying is that when you see quickly sometimes try to push that pace, there's a couple guys behind him. He's the only one up the floor. And a couple times when he did it, when he was out there with Randall and RJ, it's Randall and RJ because he has a different pace to the game that he plays with. You know what I mean? Those younger guys. And RJ is a young guy, but like the Obies and those guys, they play at a little bit of a different pace. I think a big key is going to be transition defense for the Knicks playing against Golden State. Right? Mm-hmm. If we miss, we don't shoot a high percentage from the field. So if we miss, they're looking to get out and go. Right? Yep. We got to get ready. We send one person to that offensive glass. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else got to get back. And cut off that.
We got to get them long rebounds, son. We got to get them long rebounds. So our guards got to be up to snuff with the rebound.
Yeah, definitely. We're gonna need guards helping to get those defensive rebounds so that they don't get second chance points. But if we're shooting, and especially like you said with those long rebounds, I mean we got to have guys getting back. Especially if we shoot some threes and we're breaking these threes, they're gonna be off to the races and we'll be in trouble. You know what I mean? Steph, let me come to you. What do you think?
I agree with Andy. I think it's a game of contrasting styles, and I think we have to stick with our style. We cannot run with them. It's going to be extra possessions. I don't think we can run with them. I'm interested in the matchup between Mitch and Wiseman, but I'm also interested in a matchup between Randall and what's his name?
Draymond.
Draymond. Because if Draymond can hold Randall, it's going to be tough for us because we already have a difficult time scoring. So I think if we pull this out, it's gonna be a close one.
Yeah. Devon, what do you think?
Yeah, good point, Steph. I agree with you 100% because this is not even about our offense. We got to come defense 100% because they got athletic wings with Oubre, Wiggins, and Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
Forget they scoring. They want to make it hard for RJ, Bullock, and Randall. They got athletic. Even Mitch with Wiseman back there. That's an athletic team. So we're going to have to bring our defense and muck it up, try to make it a slow down game because it's gonna be hard for us to score against some dudes, man. They got athletic dudes. I mean, they can jump, run, and they play. Oubre is a good defense ball player. I wish he was on the Knicks. I don't care if he shoot 9%. That brother can ball.
You say that now.
Hey, tell him, Devon. Tell him. I tried to tell him.
Yeah, Oubre.
Kev, you better stop, Kev.
Our transition defense has to be on.
Even though Oubre shooting 9%, that ain't his career. He might be somebody like RJ was, but now Oubre is a legitimate lengthy ball player. He's Kevin Knox with more ferocity of power. You know what I mean? He go hard. He go hard, and I think he's gonna give RJ. He's gonna make it hard for RJ when he go out of the coast. He can play some defense. When he was in Washington with John Wall and them, Oubre was legit. He legit now.
Oh my God, you not doing that.
But I think to finish my point, I think that we definitely got to bring our defense like we did the last two games.
Yeah.
And whether we trying to run with it, I don't care what we do, but our defense is the one going to keep us in basketball games the rest of this year until our offense catch up. But I think we just got to know Draymond Green on Randall. Randall going to have that brother can play some defense. So we ain't going up against no bums. We going up against some three athletic, fast-paced, lengthy, jumping. You might not like Andrew Wiggins, but he's an athlete. He's athletic.
Right. Former number one pick in the draft.
Hands up.
Former number one pick.
He ain't get that He ain't get the max. He averaged 20-something game out there, 21, 19, 20. But he's doing what RJ doing for his money. But I think we just have to go hard, man, on the defense because they going to come hard at us with the athletic wings they got out there, basically.
Yeah.
I'm curious. Is Kelly a good defender? I'm not even joking. Is he a good defender?
Yeah, he's a good defender, man.
I didn't know Kelly. I thought he was more of like an offensive guy.
He's a high energy guy. He's a guy who just plays with a high motor, high energy on offense and defense. It's not like he does anything just great, but again, he just brings energy and the guy is a freak, you know what I'm saying? Freak of nature when you're talking about athleticism. And, you know, when you athletic and you got a high motor, I mean, you can go out there and just mess up and you can still make a good play, you know? So that's Kelly Oubre.
Yeah, no doubt about it, man.
You know what I think is going to have a tough game a little bit, personally? I think Obi might have a tough game with this one. Especially
might have a tough game, like have a hard time out there on the floor?
Yeah, because I think, you know, between whoever's guarding him, between Draymond and Wiseman, I think he might have a tough time on Thursday. Me personally, he might.
No, I didn't see an easy game for Obi yet.
Well, especially if he goes against Draymond, I think that's a lesson to be learned if he's guarded by him.
Right.
But it just might be a struggle for him just because of those two and that other guy, that Fiasco.
Yeah. Well. See, I wish we had a center that could shoot from the outside because right now, when Obi's in the game with Quickly, Obi's on the wing and they got Nerlens Noel setting up the screens in the high pick and roll, right? I want to see Obi setting those screens so that they can run the screen and roll, and so we can get Obi some shots at, you know, some baskets going vertically. You know what I mean? Right now they put him out on the wing.
Because I want to see Obi have some more pick and roll and some pick and pops. I want to see Obi do that because I think he'd be really great doing that.
Him and Quickly runs the pick and roll really well. Him and Quickly with the alley oop.
Yeah, you know, but right now they use Nerlens or Mitch, you know, and put Obi out on the wing. Guillermo?
Yeah, I was gonna say they have used sets where they use Obi initially out on the wing, and then when it gets deeper into the shot clock, they use him on the pick and roll, pick and pop. But just real quick on the Warriors, one thing that would help us, pace. Lack of pace would actually help us. If we could get ways now, sometimes the Knicks will run some flex action to get Randall open against a mismatch, or set a pick down low again, open on a mismatch down low where you could, you know, get him a weaker player, body his way, and then draw the foul, pass it off once the defense collapsed on them. That's one way to beat the Warriors. Just reading, there's an article written by like the San Francisco Chronicle or something where the Pacers, unfortunately, we don't do this, but Thibodeau has to start to look at other ways to beat teams. So the Pacers beat the Warriors, I think 104-95 some weeks ago or whatever. And one of the ways they did it was by playing a box and one, right? So Steph Curry only had 20 points that game. He was cooking in the beginning, but he got tired at the end. And essentially they put somebody named Sumner on the Pacers who like never plays. And they basically just hounded him the whole game. Like they just blanketed him. They said like a cornerback on a receiver. Just have it on him the whole game, have the team go down the shot clock. And then if they can't get it to Curry, they try to make somebody else make plays. Now, obviously, you could be playing with fire. Kelly Oubre decides to, wake up and kill us from deep like he did that one game against the Suns last year. But again, I'd rather Steph Curry being frustrated and their plan A system being shut down or plan being shut down versus, us hope that, other guys like Oubre and others don't do something, but then Curry still give you 30, 35 a night. Because it's going to be tough to play with that type of pace and then play man-on-man defense with all those picks. And our pick and roll defense, you saw Spurs today, but it's not the best. It was not really that good. Many times guys are open. They're open shots a lot. Even our perimeter defense at times. Tonight, the Magic didn't shoot well for the most part, but then, they did have some open shots. Outside that Terrence Ross shot, I mean, there were some open looks for the Magic. So I'd rather Thibodeau kind of go to zone. But again, Thibodeau is stubborn.
Who on the Knicks would you have to play that box and one on Curry? Who would we have? Because this is where Frank could help. But we obviously don't have Frank. So who would you want the Knicks right now?
Unfortunately, I throw different looks. I throw Payne at him. I throw Barrett at him. Unfortunately, we just don't have those type of defenders. But those are probably some of our better on-ball defenders. I'd probably even put Bullock on him. Try Bullock on him. But I would try to get him into spots, disadvantageous spots. You could try box and one. You could also play a 3-2 and have your guys. Because again, outside of who's it? Wiseman's good. Don't get me wrong. But I'd rather take my chances on Wiseman being some zone breaker to kill us. But if you played a 3-2, swarm them like how the Lakers did last year in the playoffs, where they ran 3-2 looks, and they would just hound Dame Lillard early in the count, just stop him from even doing anything, and then they had to try to make guys like CJ and Nurkic do the work, and they couldn't. There's so many ways you could try to isolate and double team and trap these teams with just these extremely really good, but just they only have one shooter. Because obviously, thank God, it's sad that Klay Thompson's hurt, but thank God we don't have to see him. That's what I'm trying to say. But there are ways to stop Curry, but it's up to Tom Thibodeau. He runs that ice pick and roll defense. So many times you see Peyton trying to fight over the screen, and then you see Mitch trying to hold it, and they can literally kill us with a pick and pop all game. You know what I mean? So it's up to Tibbs to kind of change the defensive mentality, but we'll see. I doubt he'd do it for this game. So
I don't see Tibbs changing that defensive mentality to do any kind of zones or box and ones or anything like that. I think right now he's focusing on just what's basic, and we'll see. I don't even think that he's gonna do it in the future, but we'll see. Last thing, looking at now, if you want to reevaluate what you think for the week, in this trip, we got 3 games left for this week. What do you think we do for the remaining 3 games? Again, it's Golden State, Sacramento, and Portland. I'm going to start with you, Andy.
My heart wants us to go at least 2-1, but I'll take 1-2 as well. I don't think it's going to be, a sweep this or that way. We're going to split the games at least.
Okay. All right. Divine?
I'm gonna go 2-1. Just due to the fact that our defense is getting back to what they do best, play defense, and I think Burt gonna come back, knowing that Golden State traded him last year to Philly. He gonna show out. So I'm hoping that we just keep playing the defense we playing, and we got bodies coming back that give us more chance to be in more games. But we, from what I've seen the last 2 games, with our defense, a Tom Thibodeau statement, which is our defense. If you got a good defense, you win the game against anybody. So I think that, I'm going to go 2-1. I think it's going to be Golden State and Sacramento. And I think I'll take 2-1.
All right, Tony?
5-game win streak. 3-0.
Get him, Tom.
Okay. All right. All right.
Get him, Tom.
Josh.
2-1. I think we beat Golden State, and just note on Golden State, they play tonight and they also play Wednesday. So when we see them on Thursday, they'll be in the back-to-back situation.
All right. Guillermo.
Easily 1 or 2, 2-1. Those the Portland, I think they just lost Nurkic, right? I think he just got
Nurkic and CJ.
Nurkic and CJ McCollum. I'm not saying it's going to be an easy win, but I think that teams that don't have like these dynamic front courts, having a rim protector like Mitchell Robinson, it's a lot easier load for him, and he can help us defend against some of these better backcourts. I think we might struggle with a team like the Kings, who kind of space out the floor. They got Halliburton, Hield, and
Fox.
De'Aaron Fox, which it could be a dynamic three. And they have Marvin Bagley. I'm not too scared of Marvin Bagley, but he is shooting like 38% from 3 over 2.8 attempts. And he does have some skills down low, but he's another guy who wants to kind of lead the team. So we don't know how his attitude may be that night. So easily be 1 or 2, 2-1. I'm hoping for a 2-1. But yeah, those are my.
All right. Kev.
Can you pick one, bro? You didn't pick one.
He said,
Kev, go ahead.
He flipped like he was like 1 or 2, 2-1.
He works than Hillary Clinton, man.
Stop being scared, yo. You scary, bro.
You might as well throw 3-0 in there too.
All right, I'll go 1 and 2, man. Since you guys want to cut.
Yeah, I'm going to 1 and 2, but Kev is going to go 5-0. I bet you.
48-minute Kev.
My man Tony beat me to it. I'm hungry. And I'm ready to eat. I'm going 3-0. I'm going 3-0. I think our toughest game will probably be our first game. All right. That's where I'm going. Because again, I keep telling Isaiah, talk about Kelly Oubre. If you don't know, you better ask somebody. I keep telling you, but you don't listen, so you won't find out. But yeah, I'm going 3-0. I think we could beat Golden State. I think we could beat Sacramento, and I think we could beat Portland. And now that I hear that that CJ McCollum might not even be playing, yeah, I'm gonna go 3-0. I'm hungry.
All right.
I'm ready to eat.
Going to it. Stephanie?
I'm going 2-1. I think some teams are undermanned, like Golden State and Portland. I just don't think our consistency is there yet. But I'm going 2-1. But that's providing that our defensive rotations stay the way they are the past 2 games.
All right, Prince.
2-1. Definitely hope that we can keep this this good spirit of basketball that we done had, sharing the ball, playing for each other, to go into Golden State. I'm not too worried about Sacramento, especially if we can, do the Tom Thibodeau thing and we can keep De'Aaron Fox in front of us. The game that I worry about is just Dame Lillard and Melo. So look forward to us to 2-1.
All right, and Big Bubba.
Ooh, Simeon Russell. It's crazy, right? So I'm thinking about it, right? I mean, can you see us facing 3 other point guards as good as these 3? Right, that's going to be coming up that we got. So our guard play has to be on point. We got Steph Curry, De'Aaron Fox, and Damian Lillard. Jesus Christ, that's
you're right. You're right. That's tough.
that is tough. But one thing about I think we're gonna go 2-1. 2-1. I really want to see how we play against Golden State. I feel like that's gonna be the tone setter to see what's gonna go on. Sacramento Kings, it's weird. We played really well against Sacramento Kings. Portland, I think last year we swept them, if I'm not mistaken.
We won just before the season broke down.
Yep.
Yeah. So so we played good against them. Lillard's gonna do his thing, but if we can stop, I'm trying to think, who else we got to stop? Oh, Carmelo Anthony. That's gonna
not even starting.
Yeah, I don't even think he's starting.
God. Well, dang, our second unit got to be on point. But we could go 2-1. I think. I'm trying to think which one we might lose. The Golden State one to me is up in the air. I just got to see, because again, that 90 points isn't going to cut it. But we could go 2-1.
All right.
Are you sure
All
of
right.
that? Are you convicted? Are you sure of that? I mean,
Kev, I'm a realistic Knicks fan, man. Listen, man. I'll say, listen, again, right, if we go 2-1, right, we're 7-8, that means we'll be
8, 9, and 9.
Oh my God, my math.
9 and 9.
Come on,
You guys forgot an important question. You guys forgot, Sim, how much you think Melo's gonna have on us? Because that's your
Here we go.
That's your favorite.
how much is Melo going to have on us? I mean, whatever. Probably what
if
he's
Paul's gonna
averaging.
be
I
on
don't
him.
see him doing anything crazy.
Well,
25.
last year he killed us in the first game when we played him over there.
Well,
I think he
Melo's
was
gonna have
hungry for that,
25
though. I think he was hungry for that game.
Easy.
That's what I'm saying, Sim. You got to put some. You got to put some. Don't.
I think Melo's gonna drop. I think Melo dropped 20 on us.
At least, bro. At least.
He might.
Sim.
I mean, he might. I mean, who else are they having there to score? I mean, what's he average? 12 points this year. 12 points, 3 rebounds. I mean, I don't know.
His minutes may go up though with McCollum out.
Right.
Oh yeah, that's true. That is true.
Someone says he's gonna drop 40.
I don't know.
Drop 50 long and lose.
Sim, if that's your burner account, just say that, man.
Yeah, I might be shit.
Hey, caller, you live? What's popping?
What's up, Sam? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling great, man. I think we're about to go 2-1 when we get on the road, man. I loved the game today, man. This is the first time in years that I think we all need to stop and really appreciate what we see right now, man. We actually got a player on this team that's ranked number 3 behind all the other power forwards in the league. It's crazy. And we paid him $18 million. And we got RJ, and he playing great. We just need our supporting cast besides Randall to show up this next game, man. I mean, it's a good time right now to be, a Knicks fan right now, man. So everybody else has to show up. He can't be the only one. Randall takes a lot of defensive pressure off of everybody else. I'm glad he's played every game, and we really got to appreciate this man. I mean, this man, they talk about his field goal. He has one of the best field goal percentages in the league right now. People need to check this out. These are all facts, man. I mean, he came in leaner this year. RJ's playing greater because he's taking off all that defensive pressure away from him. I mean, I think it's helping the whole team. I think we really lucked out, and we really got to appreciate this, man. We got to stop going to bash this team. This team is a good team. For what we have, for what we paid, we're getting the most out of this team. So it's a good time, Sin. But that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. All right. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, no doubt. Randall's definitely doing his thing this year, man. Listen, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow, 12:30, I'll be doing the shoot around. So make sure you join me tomorrow about 12:30. Look for the notification. We're just gonna, kind of talk about how Tom Thibodeau is going to approach the next couple of days. We'll look at some other stuff going on in the NBA. Be a good show. Andy, go ahead, man.
Yeah, we didn't hear your prediction, bro.
My prediction? I think we are going to go 2-1. I think we're going 2-1. Yeah, I think one of the games, either Golden State, in my opinion, either Golden State or Portland, I think we're going to drop one of those. I'm not sure which one. Then we're going to drop one of those. I think we're going 2-1. Yeah,
and anybody remembers Kevin's Cornerstone's prediction for the whole season? Because from his predictions week to week, we should be like 15-0 now.
Right. You know what I'm saying? For real.
Yeah, 72-0, he said.
Right. Calling you live. What's popping?
How's it going, gents? Thanks for taking my call. I wanted to check in. I called in on the day that Tom Thibodeau was hired. I was all gung-ho about it. And I just want to check in and say, I'm so happy that the Knicks finally have leadership at the head coach position, and it looks like he's going to be sticking around for a while. And I feel like the whole culture of the team has changed, and I'm loving the way these young guys have turned around. Obviously, they're going to identify which ones are keepers. And over the next year or two, I think they're going to finally break that free agency curse. They got all these assets. They're going to bring in a couple of superstars, and they're going to win a championship sooner than we think.
Okay. Hey, that sounds good to me. Shoot.
I agree with you.
I hope so. Hopefully we're establishing what we need to establish, and we're on that path. I appreciate it, man.
Take care.
Take care. Well, again, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow 12:30, and I got a couple of not gift announcements, but contest announcement. One contest announcement, at least one contest announcement to announce tomorrow. So make sure you join me 12:30 p.m. You'll get the notification for the shoot around, and it should be a fun show. Should be a super fun show. I'll go around real quick, get some last words, and then I'm up out of here. Andy, I'm gonna start with you.
Yeah, I'm happy we had this back-to-back on an early hour for you guys and a regular hour for me. I just happy I could watch these games and don't have to go the whole next day without internet, so I didn't spoil the game for myself. Right. The W's only made it better.
Right. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah, so
Devon?
I hope I'm gonna be able to join in tomorrow. Go ahead, Devon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Real
it's during the
this,
day, so it's at a good time for you. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Real quick, and this ain't no hyperbole, no best talk show on the net, nothing but Knicks, and that's legit. The panel, intelligent people, we got the best thing running to me on the chat forums or whatever. Big up to MBK. Let's go get it out there. 2 days rest, man. Bishop Robinson heal up a little bit more for Thursday. Alex Burks go out there, get some revenge on them for trading them. Let's go, y'all. 2-1, bring it home. 9-9, I think we're in a good spot, and I can like the call. I want to just real quick what the caller said. I agree just about with everything he said. We are in a good position at the Knicks organization. Good coach, good big front office, 7-8, cap space, picks, hard-nosed people. I agree, my man. In 2 to 3 years, Knicks gonna be up in there. Best believe that. Peace to the chat, man. Everybody hit a thumbs up for my man too.
Yeah, no doubt. Tony.
Good win, good 2-game stretch. Hopefully we could keep it going. And get my prediction. I want them all. Like I'm greedy like Kev, Cornerstone Kev, man. I want them all. I want to go on a streak. I've been craving a streak, just like the rest of you guys for years. And I think five games is doable. Get us back where we have a little cushion. And then, then we can start maybe keeping it at 500 and surprise some guys like I've been saying. Shout out to the panel. Shout out to the chat. Ill Black is time. Sim, as always, keep doing your thing.
No doubt. Appreciate it. Josh?
Yeah, big win today. I think the Knicks are on the right track in the organization. This is the most optimistic I've been about the Knicks organization in a very long time. And in the previous times that I've been optimistic, they've let me down. But as far as the front office and coaching staff is concerned, I have no worries. They seem to be all going in the same direction, all in parallel and lockstep. And before I get out of here, I just want to say today is still Martin Luther King Day. We must remember how great that man, how great he was for our country. And remember, he was killed in Memphis, Tennessee, for fighting for people that didn't necessarily have a voice. So stick to what you believe in, and equal rights for everybody. Salute.
Salute
to you, brother. Guillermo?
Yeah, man. Extremely happy with the win, man. Good perseverance. A game that we kind of let up in the beginning, but again, another win just like the Jazz win, where you saw perseverance, and it was balance in regards to guys selling out on defense, playing hard on the boards, playing smart down the stretch. So again, very impressive win by the Knicks. Ugly win. You again, these are the wins that kind of define your character as a team. Versus, a guy going off of 5 for 7 from 3, even though you like that too. But, these ones are a little bit more impressive, especially for the young guys. So, again, my measure of success is just individual developments by players for the most part. Again, you saw R.J. Barrett have an efficient game. He didn't shoot well from 3, but he didn't force shots after, he wasn't making those threes. Had some great steals, good defense, same thing. Randall, ugly game. But, again, solid team win quickly. Still showing himself to be a solid option at a combo guard, come off the bench. I do want some minutes from EP, and just to say, look, if we're happy with how the Knicks are going, and how the Knicks are progressing, there's no need for RJ Barrett to go to the bench. Let's trust what Tibbs is doing. Let's see how he's developing these guys. They're gonna get it. Even if we don't get to playoffs this year, you're seeing the developments of individual plays. So let's let's at the very least afford these guys patience. As Knicks fans, we want to win so badly that when there's a 3-game losing streak or a guy shooting poorly from the field, even if the coaches are trying to develop him, we want to get rid of these guys. And if we keep having that attitude, not giving decent front offices times to develop and build the guys up, who wants to come here? So suit to everybody, man. Suit to the chat, man. Suit to MBK, man. Suit to all you guys, man. God bless and enjoy the rest of your Martin Luther King Day and recognizing, like Josh said, for how great Martin Luther King was in the fights for civil rights.
Yeah, Steph.
Shout out to Sim, the chat, the panel. I want to echo what Devon said. This is the #1 video chat on YouTube. I'm very intentional about how I spend my time, and I schedule this in. I look and see how many games we have this week. Can I make the post game, the pre-game, both? And that's because you guys resonate with me. What we talk about here is real. People have their opinions. We may disagree, but it's all about love. So shout out to you, Sim, for this platform. I'm happy about the Knicks and where we are. It's going to take time for us to develop, but we're on the right track. I do want to say, I don't think it matters whether our young guys start, come off the bench. To me, it doesn't matter. As long as they get in time, they can build off of this in the offseason. And right now, this is what our guys are doing. They get in time, whether it's 15, 25, 28, whatever it is, and they can build off of it.
Yeah, no doubt. And we see the young guys building off of it too. I mean, you have some times when, it's they might have some bad games, but they're building, you know what I mean? They're building off of it. Prince?
Hey, man, shout out to Chad. Always love to kick it with my family up here on the panel, man. Kicking, Nick knowledge. Definitely look forward to seeing y'all very soon. Like everybody kind of echoed on the panel today. Today is a very illustrious day for the great MLK. So again, if you can do something for somebody else in service, or just open the door for somebody, or let them know that you care. I'm pretty sure it'll go a long way. But hey, shout out to chat. Sim, keep doing your thing. Look forward to seeing you brothers very soon, man. Let's do this again. And Queen Steph.
Yeah. You can't forget about that. Don't forget about that. Don't forget about that.
It's all good.
Tony, you was about to say something?
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to let you guys know I started my my YouTube series. I had Josh on for my first episode, Knicks and Bruises. I want to invite everybody to check it out, and also individually, I want to have everyone as a guest. I'm planning to do Sim next, a redo, because me and Sim did it once, but I wasn't able to transfer it over to YouTube. So we're gonna do that, and then all you guys are welcome. Check it out. We're talking about Knicks and bruises, basically, the minor things that hurt us with the Knicks, and then the bruises, the real bad ones, and over the last couple of decades, and then
right.
We'll talk about how we feel about the
YouTube?
Of the team. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Appreciate you. Thank you, Sam, for the motivation. Already. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody always coming on, and like everybody said, I echo everybody's sentiments, man. Use today to think of how you can serve your community, how you can be a part of change or be a part of growth, you know what I'm saying, for your people, your community. And look, you don't have to be Martin Luther King or Malcolm X or any one of those gentlemen or gentlewomen that help to bring about change. All you gotta do is be you and create change in your community, on your block. That's it. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be a large scale thing. It could be a small scale thing, but take the time to do it. Think about what's needed. Make some changes. Help make some changes. Just be a part of it. That's all. You know what I'm saying? My motto, as usual, Tony, and you guys didn't hear me ask me, but, spread love, ladies and gentlemen. If you spreading love, you're doing something right. Peace. We out of here.